I have 3 of the best beginner decks in Clash Royale, and I've challenged 2 other creators from different Supercell games to try to beat me with these decks. And while this is happening, I will be coaching them how to play while also sharing my top 5 tips to win, because we are actually trading for a $100,000 Galaxy Battle Superverse event powered by the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. The Galaxy Battle Superverse event is a first-of-its-kind crossover game event where creators and players will compete in Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, and Clash of Clans to find the ultimate gamer in all of the Superverse. And there will be community qualifiers for all 3 games where you have a chance to compete with me for a piece of the $100,000 prize pool in the grand finals, where players must compete across all 3 games. You do not want to miss out, so sign up for the qualifiers now using the link down below. All of this is powered by the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, the best device for mobile gaming. Boasting a massive 7.6-inch interior display, you can experience mobile gaming like never before. With the dual app viewing, you could be watching a show on one side while gaming on the other, or watching some of my videos while playing Clash Royale. And it is thinner and more durable than ever before, with the next generation glass protection utilizing the Gorilla Glass 8, Victus 2, and Armor Aluminum. You can have full confidence to take it anywhere you want to go. All of this in a device that can literally fold up and fit in your pockets, taking mobile gaming to a whole new level. So check out the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 through the link in the description down below. And a huge thank you to Samsung for sponsoring this video. So battle number 1, I'm here joined with Clash with Eric, and we are teaching him how to play one of the 3 beginner decks. Which one did you choose today, my friend?
I got some balloon deck here, so hopefully I don't embarrass myself too much here. Balloon freeze, yeah.
My very first tip for you, right off the gate, is don't play the balloon behind the king tower. Generally, what you want to do is you want to focus on winning like defensive trades on your side of the arena to like gain some sort of elixir value, and then build that push into a counter push. Okay, that tower's gonna go down. This battle's over already. But basically, basically tip number 1 is just, defend your side of the arena, utilize your towers for the extra, like basically free damage without having to spend elixir on them. And then build into a counter push, and you want to make sure that you save your cards, especially your win conditions. Win conditions are obviously the cards that are your primary way of dealing direct damage to your enemy's tower, that being your balloon. You want to save those for when you have that counter push going on, and then drop it down. But I'm just going to go in here with a graveyard, finish your tower off, and we can try out one of the other strategies, or you can keep playing this deck if you want to kind of learn some more tips with it. But not bad for the first battle.
I feel like last time I ran into the problem where I just didn't have any good initial cards to start with there, so I was kind of like using the balloon unnecessarily. Yeah,
generally what you can do is if you don't have the proper starting hand, you can't just sit there and basically wait for your opponent to make the opening play, because even though your elixir caps out at 10, and technically you do start losing elixir after 10, if your opponent doesn't really play anything, you're not really kind of losing anything per se, because they're also losing elixir. And one of my other tips for you right now is you can use your tower health as a resource. So in that situation, you drop the Infernal Dragon to destroy the Mega Minion. What you could have done is just basically ignore the Mega Minion. It would have gotten like a few shots to your tower, but because your tower still has a lot more health available, it won't destroy it. And so you can basically build up the elixir for a bigger counter push instead of dropping the Infernal Dragon, which then ultimately just kind of dies.
Right.
So if you have towers that have high health and they can soak up a few shots, you can choose to ignore something coming in and use that tower health as a bit of a resource. But that's a decent defense.
Yeah, I couldn't have anything I didn't have anything in hand right now to deal with that blue.
Yeah. And so I noticed you dropped the Barbarian Barrel down right there. In that situation, you probably just want to kind of keep it in your hand for some for more elixir later on. I'm going to go in Barbarians to your right lane. They are the evolved version, so this is going to be a bit difficult for you to deal with. If you have the Bowler, right now is the great chance for a Bowler, because it's a ground card that would knock it back, but those Barbarians are going to just destroy that tower. They are evolved. Look at them go. Oh my goodness. All right, you know what they say, Eric? Third time is the charm, right?
I hope so.
I've chosen a deck that, in theory, yours should be able to hard counter, because I don't have anything for your Infernal Dragon. The Infernal Dragon is a tank destroyer that once it locks on, it deals increasing more damage. And outside of my Zaspel, I don't really have a consistent reset. And you also have the Electro Dragon, which is a fantastic counter for this next card I'm about to reveal, the Sparky. So in this situation, what you want to do before dropping like your Infernal Dragons and your Electro Dragons earlier on, you want to play a bit more passive because you are rocking a control style deck. And you want to play a bit more passive and try and focus on learning what your opponent is using, right? Because there's 109 cards in the game right now. And so you want to learn what your opponent's deck is, like what 8 cards they have in their deck.
Oh my god.
Before you place your cards down. Because that way, if you know what the deck they're rocking, you can save your valuable counter cards for the moments that you need it. Because right now, you can see the Spark destroying your tower. If you save the Electro Dragon, you can just reset and destroy it. And so that's why you want to play a bit more passive earlier on to try and learn what your opponent's deck is before going in with your kind of heavier cards. See, good bowler placement there on the Goblin Giant, because that way the Dark Prince won't hit your tower as well. And then you could probably go in here with a Lumberjack Balloon if you have it. There you go. Nice Lumberjack. And then I'm going to go in with the Mega Minion for the Electro Dragon. There's the balloon coming down. It's a little bit late for your balloon because it will be dead. Even if you drop the free spell, it's a bit too late. But we just hit the double elixir period. So at the last minute of battle, all of your elixir generated is doubled. So generally, you can focus on defending, waiting for your opponent to make a mistake in the single elixir period, and then going in with a nice counter push later on. Oh, Lennon's going to defend this tower here. I'm too busy talking. Destroy that. There we go. We are good. See, my deck does not have a heavy spell to finish your tower off. So even though your towers are at low HP, I don't really have a way of directly destroying them. So I have to go in right now with a Goblin Giant right lane. And this should be able to get past and get a few shots to your tower and secure the win. Oh, nice free spell. Ooh. I don't think it'll buy you enough time, but very well played. And the Dark Prince goes in.
Tried.
Close.
I tried to stop it.
So we're on to opponent number 2, Crying Man over here. What deck did you choose?
I used the Princess deck.
Oh, the log bait strategy. That's a very solid deck. It's been pretty consistent in the meta for many, many years now. And it's a great deck for beginners because it teaches you basically how to play your cards strategically and wait for your opponent to make a mistake to punish. And honestly, we should have a fairly decent matchup. Your deck does rock the Infernal Tower, which is a very strong tank destroyer for my Lava Hound. And you also have the Rocket, which completely shuts down a balloon.
Yep.
So this should be a fairly good matchup. I don't really have too many responsive options for your Goblin Barrel, which is your primary win condition. I like your defensive plays and how you use the Infernal Tower to destroy the dragons. And then it should lock onto my Lava Hound afterwards to finish it off. And see, now typically would be a great time to go in with the Goblin Barrel on my tower, because I was a bit low in elixir. And you also have the Knight down already, so you can kind of utilize the value of the defensive Knight. But we're at a bit of a stalemate so far. Nice Goblin Barrel. I have to soak a bit of tower damage with that because I don't have a direct counter. And that's basically how you want to play your deck, is you want to kind of just focus on chipping away your opponent with the log bait, getting a little bit of damage when you can. And then when they are low in elixir, because I am rocking a heavier strategy, I'm rocking a beatdown deck. When I'm low in elixir, you can go in for an immediate punish. Or, for example, right now, if I'm going in Lava Hound right lane, you can see that I'm setting up for a massive push. When you're rocking a control style deck, you can do exactly what you just did right there, using a princess on the opposite lane, because she won't cross the river. If I ignore her, she will destroy my tower outright. So I have to respond to her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly.
And so what I can do, now you force me to spend elixir in the opposite lane, whereas previously, if you would have just defended the right lane, I can go all in right side and basically destroy your defense because I am rocking a beatdown push.
Right, this is scary.
But by using the princess, you force out the barbarians. Thankfully, the evolved barbarians are very, very powerful, so they will be able to break through.
This?
Oh, look at that. You're so strong. And see now, so I've gone in with the balloon. You've wasted your Infernal Tower. Now I can go in with a Lava Hound push while your Infernal Tower is somewhat out of rotation. I like your Goblin Barrel though. See, you're forcing me to spin elixir on the opposite lane, and now I can't go in as much as I want on the right side of the arena with my Lava Hound.
Oh no, I misclicked.
Playing this match almost perfect. Oh
no! What am I doing?
My tip number 5 for you guys is don't misclick your cards.
My fault.
I mean, you should be somewhat fine though. Actually, you're not fine. I'm sorry. Right now is a great time to go a rocket on that balloon. It should destroy my entire push. It should shut down basically everything. If you can go rocket here, you can go rocket. Oh
Nope.
No.
Oh man.
Nope.
I think the rocket would have been a better choice there because it would have shut down the balloon immediately and then make it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Overall, that was a really strong first battle. All right, so the last battle, it was a fairly decent matchup. It could have gone either way. I've kind of chosen a deck here that, you know what, does hard counter your strategy quite well. And this is where it comes down to the mind games of Clash Royale. When you are facing an opponent there is a bit of rock, paper, scissors in certain matchups where some decks are really, really strong in particular scenarios. And you can kind of get in the head of your opponent, knowing what kind of strategies they want to play and choosing a counter strategy to hopefully give you a favorable matchup. Because right now you can go in with the Infernal Tower and it locks onto my Golden Knight somehow? What? That's weird.
Let's go.
But the E-Giant goes in there and just destroys it.
Oh. Wait a second.
There we go.
Wait a second. What is this card? What is this red board?
That's the Electro Giant. Oh. That Bomber's doing work though. What you want to do is you want to focus on what you were doing in the last battle where you were kind of pressuring the opposite lane, forcing me to split my elixir, because I am running a similar kind of beatdown strategy that focuses on building up like a massive push in one side of the arena, whereas you're kind of playing more of a control style deck that is able to swap lanes pretty quickly and force pressure on the opposite side of the arena. And so basically you want to kind of play what you did in the last matchup. And if I get to the elixir period, it should be a lot easier for me to break through because my deck is so heavy. Uh-oh, I'm lagging. I'm getting the Wi-Fi symbol.
This is where I win. Oh,
this is how we're going to beat him in Super Finals, right?
Exactly.
Oh no!
He has no chance.
Just wishing for them to like get a red Wi-Fi.
I'm back.
Oh.
Had a bit of a leg spike there, but we're back. We can make him come back here. I felt bad for choosing a counter deck that I wanted to give you a bit more of a chance here, but
if you make a comeback now,
I doubt you can win.
Lose my mind here.
You don't think I can win?
Nope.
I don't think you can.
Oh,
I think I got this.
It might be tough, but there's always a chance. Where there's a chance, there's a way. We go in with one of these. Boom, boom.
All right, wait a second. Wait a
Pull
second.
that together.
Wait a second.
That goes in. Come on.
Yes.
Giant, go.
We won. We won.
Go, Giant, go.
Let's go.
Hey, if you would have disconnected for like 2 seconds less, you might be able to make it through.
So Eric wants some revenge after watching Crying Man and I. He feels like he's learned enough to come back with a vengeance, and he's also switched strategies to more of a beatdown style deck. Because you said you're a bit more comfortable with these strategies.
Yeah, I've always played giant decks and Mega Knight decks, and I like the decks with something big and tanky to go in there and just try to build a swarm behind it. It's always been what I've been most comfortable with, and when I play outside of that, then it kind of messes me up a little bit sometimes. Okay, that makes sense, because like the decks you were playing earlier were more control style, so it makes a lot more sense than how they were a bit out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I was getting wrecked.
But I want to leave you off with 2 final tips here. You went Electro Giant opening play, which, you know, it's okay this earlier on in the battle. Typically, though, you want to kind of keep it for like you want to have a set push in mind. When you're building it, when you're playing Clash Royale, you want to have a set play in mind where this is how you destroy a tower. So, for example, with Electro Giant, the deck you're rocking, you want to have the Electro Giant up front to tank for your cards. Then you want to make sure that you have the Tornado spell like ready to go, because the Electro Giant has a unique ability to counterattack and zap anything that attacks itself within a certain radius. So if you pair that up with the NATO spell, it pulls everything within the radius and they all take damage when they counterattack. And then you can also utilize your Golden Knight dash within that NATO splash damage as well. So when you're playing a deck, you want to know like what is your plan for dealing damage to a tower. For example, earlier I was playing a Lava Hound deck. With that deck, I want to go Lava Hound behind the tower, build up for a massive push, then go in Balloon, then go in Skeleton Dragons, and that is my set play. You don't want to just kind of spam cards endlessly at the bridge, just kind of hoping for the best. You want to have a set strategic play in mind of how you break that tower. So for example, right there, my Infernal Dragon melted your Electro Giant, just destroyed it. So your set play is to make sure that you always have the Tornado spell basically ready to go with your push. Right now you want to NATO it from your tower and then push it away, push it away, push it away. No.
Oh,
there you go. So
a little slow.
You want to make sure you have it basically ready to go. So that way, when I drop the Infernal Dragon on your E-Giant, you just NATO it right in there, and then the E-Giant attacks it on its counterattack and stuns it and resets its charge. And that is your plan of like just breaking through my defensive counter cards.
Gotcha.
Boom. You got a free spell there.
Yep, that's going to hurt.
And so I'm playing a control style deck. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to force you to spend elixir on the opposite side of the arena. Because I don't want you going with a big push. See, that was a good NATO spell. Oh, nice. We got one more E-Giant going down. Okay, this is going to be a problem. That was a really well-planned attack there. Unfortunately, I do have the free spell, which counters your E-Giant. And because I went the opposite lane, like as soon as you started going E-Giant on the right side of the arena, I immediately pushed the opposite lane. And what that does is it forces you to spend Elixir on defense, so you can't go in with your E-Giant. And that was pretty close, honestly.
Yeah.
292 health left. That was a lot better than your first 3 battles.
But that is the end of the video. Make sure you register for the Galaxy Battle Superverse event and check out the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 using the links down below.